And then I came to Baltimore.
K-Pax took over the weekend with the #1 slot at the box office.
People wanted to see that because of me eating bananas.
Is it K-Pax?
K-Pax, yeah, because people wanted to see that because of me eating bananas.
Yeah, that was really gross. That wasn't all that attractive.
You don't think so?
We have a lot coming up, don't we?
It's tasty.
You're talking about bringing up boys?
Bringing up with Dr. James Dobson, who you may like him or not, but he's certainly prominent with Focus on the Family on thousands of radio stations across the country. So there it is. We'll be talking to him about his new book. He's written gazillions of books.
Well, you have a daughter, so you don't have a whole lot of experience about bringing up boys.
But I've noticed I have hung out with, you know, the pre-adolescent youth, taking them out to places, and it's a different experience than having daughters. Yeah. That's for sure.
Are you going to have any boys, do you think?
You know, who knows what's going to happen? I can barely tell what's going to happen 3 or 4 days ahead in the weather, much less whether I'm going to procreate any male offspring as time progresses.
But I'm sure if you'd like to share it, you would do it right here during one of our chat segments.
What would I do?
We'll discuss the procreation of your children, offspring, all that good stuff. Or maybe not.
Maybe not.
Right.
Maybe not. But I will tell you that it's a good day to be close to some. A little body heat is a good thing this morning because it's cold out there.
It is chilly. I guess some people were having to scrape off
scrape, just a little mini scrape.
Never done that before. I haven't. I've lived in Tampa.
Little mini scrape this morning. Just a little, wait till it gets like an inch thick and you have to get the chisel to get the stuff off. All right, here's what we're dealing with this morning. Nothing. Nothing really to speak of.
Little did I have any idea that less than 10 months later, Zane would come into my life.
And good morning. Welcome back to Fox 45 Morning News. It's 7:53. Any parent who has boys know that they can be rowdy, rambunctious, and raise a lot of cane. But how do you raise boys into a generation of productive men? Joining us this morning, it's a pleasure to have him with us, is author James Dobson. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Dobson, and of course to talk about your book, Bringing Up Boys. But this certainly isn't your first. I was counting them up. Am I counted correctly? Is this your 17th book that you have written?
You know what? I haven't counted them, Kirk, but something like that, around 20, I believe. I've been writing for 30-something years.
That is amazing. Well, if somebody is watching and they're thinking, well, you know, maybe I'll be a parent in a few years, what is the big difference that you would say between boys and girls? How do parents need to react differently to their male child versus their female child?
Well, the research on that subject is now just very, very clear after 2 or 3 decades of confusion. The boys are very, very different from girls, and anyone who's tried to raise one is aware of that. As you said in your intro, they tend to be more rambunctious, they tend to be more competitive, they're more likely to run risks. I mean, just keeping them alive can be a problem. And so parents really do need to take that into consideration when they're raising their kids. They need more discipline, they need more parental involvement, especially father's involvement, and they need more structure in their lives.
That is one thing you mentioned that I think is so important is a male role model. What advice do you have for, let's say, a single mom, or what we see more and more in society is single grandparents raising their children?
Yes.
What can they do to get, if they don't have a male nearby, what kind of things can they do to fill in for that father figure?
Well, Kirk, there are places you can get it. If the father is not available, and he should be, but if he's not available for one reason or another, you can get it through organized sports, through a very caring coach. You can get it through a church group, which has a male youth leader. You can get it through neighborhood fathers who are willing to lend a hand. You can get it through relatives. There are many places that you can find it. If you can't find it anyplace else, you can rent it. You can find a high school senior who will teach your boy how to throw a ball or catch a ball or what have you.
So
there are many places you can find it.
Do you find that boys really miss out if they don't? Does that impact their life later if they don't, say, maybe 8, 9, 10 years old and don't have that male role model? Are they impacted when they're an adult?
You know what? It impacts it from a very, very early age, much earlier than you mentioned. From 18 months to 5 years is when boys tend to pull back from their mothers and reattach to their fathers. And that's where they learn what the masculine role model is all about. And so it is very, very important to have a male role model from very early in life.
Dr. Dobson, one thing, I've been an admirer of your work for quite a long time, and one thing that I think people get confused in our society, and I'd like to have you quickly comment, is they say we both work, both mother and father, so we can provide all the good things for their kids. How do you feel, isn't in some ways time more important than having the most updated video game in the house?
You know, that is such a controversial subject, and it raises the hackles of people who feel like they absolutely have to be involved in two careers, and I'm not here to criticize that, but I can tell you that boys cannot raise themselves. Girls can't either, but boys especially need a great deal of time from their parents. And you can't buy that. You can't give them enough to make up for it if it's not there.
Now, Dr. Dobson, a lot of parents are going to say they don't have time to read this book. I mean, here it's a you know, it's a 250-page book, but there are other ways they can get it too. Don't you have that also available on audio cassettes and CDs?
We do, and of course, Focus on the Family is our radio program that's heard on 2,000 stations every day. So they may get it that way. And I'm not the only authority that's out there. There are others trying to provide this information. If parents care, they can get the answers.
What do you think? Is it tougher to raise a child now in 2001 than it was, say, in 1961, or are the challenges just different?
It's a lot tougher today because of the disintegration of the family. As the family goes, so goes the welfare of boys and girls. And with the disintegration of the family that's taken place, boys tend to really get into a lot of difficulty. They need a lot of supervision.
Well, Dr. Dobson, you've got some wise comments, and we appreciate you joining us this morning. Live in Denver, is that where you are this morning?
I am, yes, as a matter of fact, and I wish you greetings there in Baltimore.
Thank you so much. We hope to talk to you again sometime soon. The new book is Bringing Up Boys. It's about Dr. Dobson's 17th book. He's written a lot of them. Coming up in our final hour on Fox 45 this morning, how your home interior talents could affect your life, love, and prosperity. It's that feng shui. How you pronounce it, Jennifer? Feng shui. We'll pronounce the feng shui. We'll learn more about that, and also the latest, of course, on the ongoing anthrax scares and investigation. And my forecast is first when we come back, so stay with us here on Fox 45.
Hey, look at meteorologist Kirk Clyde is in for Lori Penson tonight. Kirk!
Yeah,
It's so nice to see you.
Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you. It's kind of like flashbacks to old times.
It's like that every night.
Oh, is it really? What a beautiful day. Just to make a little cameo here with you guys in the evening, what a beautiful day we had. Wow, 77 degrees is where we are now, but notice temperatures to the west of us warmer. You get into central Kentucky, 86 degrees. So we could have, here I'm making a little return to the evening, we could have a return to summertime weather tomorrow with warmer temperatures moving on into place. A few clouds trying to make their way into western Pennsylvania, but high pressure is what dominates, and it is going to dominate for several days. And that's a good thing because there is some wild weather that is taking place in the plains now, and that wild weather will be held at bay. Thought maybe some thunderstorms possibly for the kickoff of the Ravens season. Now I think I'm going to push that a little further back, maybe to Monday. Tonight, just beautiful. Clear, maybe not quite as cool as last night with winds near calm and temperatures about 60 degrees. Tropical season, still no hurricanes this year. But guess what? Erin is back to life. Plus, what else is going on? We'll detail it for you in just a couple of minutes. Tony,
With
Deborah.
Kirk, fresh off an apple fire. Kirk.
That's right. Just have to sleep in shifts to do this kind of crazy schedule. Crazy weather out in the west. 28 degrees this morning in Oregon. Snow in Idaho. Get a pretty good idea of right where the front is. And that front will affect us, but not for a while. Today, just stupendous. And not only was the temperature comfortable at just 80 degrees, a degree below normal, 10 degrees below normal for the overnight low. The key here is the humidity. Look at that, just 45% with a dew point at 54. Although notice the winds have shifted towards the southeast. That means more moisture is going to start to feed up into the region. But the high is going to be strong enough to keep the big storms at bay. Some severe weather in Iowa today, back into Wisconsin. Here's what I'm looking at to have happen over the next 24 hours. The high moves towards the east, so we start to get more of that southerly flow and warmer temperatures. By this time tomorrow, we should see the rain across Indiana and in Michigan, but it should stay away from us for a while. Last couple of days, temperatures have been in the 90s in North Dakota. You can tell where the front is tomorrow, and we start to warm up with that southerly flow. So a little summer reprise for tomorrow. Mostly sunny, warm with those southerly winds, so a little bit stickier. Been an incredibly quiet season in the tropics so far, but we're watching a disturbed area off Florida, here off Central America. And Aaron is back, just though as a tropical depression. However, it looks like it could become a tropical storm again. There's the storm, there's Puerto Rico, and here is your 5-day forecast. Look at this, a warm, sticky day it looks like for the start of the NFL. It'll be right, well, on our sister station on Fox 45. And wow, what a quiet season it's been in the tropics.
Yeah.
The last time that we had went this long without a hurricane was back in 1984.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kirk.